Good evening, everyone. Geez, that's loud. Thanks for showing up, guys. This is a great turnout for a great person. Just a few things. After we do some speeches here, we do want to take a picture with all the coaches. So after myself, Josh, Dale, Maz, and Krek give our speeches, we will come down here and we'll take a group picture with Krek and all the coaches that are present tonight. So for those that don't know me, my name is Kyle Rockwell. I'm the Director of Ancillary Services at Sanford Worthington. I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight as we celebrate the remarkable career of Krek and recognize the tremendous impact that he's had on our community, our athletes, and our healthcare organization. I've had the privilege to work alongside Krek for more than 9 years, and it's an honor to share a few words about his accomplishments and his career. So a little history about Krek. I had to confirm some of these dates with him to make sure I had the dates right, but Krek's journey began right here in Worthington. He's a graduate of Worthington High School's class of 1973. He then went on to Mankato State University, graduating in 1978. During his college years, he completed 2 internships with the New Orleans Saints, experiences that helped launch what will become an extraordinary career in athletic training. Upon graduation, Krek was hired by the Houston Oilers, where he worked as an athletic trainer for 7 years. While many people may have considered this career and his professional career the pinnacle of success, Krek made the decision to return home to Worthington in 1985. A decision that would ultimately benefit countless athletes and families throughout our region. After returning home, Krek began providing athletic training services at Worthington High School. Oh, you got the music playing still, huh?
Yeah, I thought you wanted to turn it off.
Oh, I don't know how to do that. Come on, that's you and Amy's job. There you go. There you go.
Now we're better.
Now we're better. Thanks, CJ. After returning home, Krek began providing athletic training services to Worthington High School, initially covering football, then expanding his services over the following years. Soon to Minnesota West Community College and several surrounding high schools benefited from his expertise and his dedication. In 1995, Krek partnered with Dr. Donahue, creating a collaboration that strengthened sports medicine services for the community while continuing his commitment to both Worthington High School and Minnesota West Community College. In 2017, Krek officially joined Sanford Worthington, where he became instrumental in building the athletic training program that we know today. His leadership helped transform athletic training services in our area. Then in 2020, Sanford entered a formal partnership with Worthington High School and Minnesota West to provide a comprehensive athletic training services. What once centered primarily on event coverage then turned into a full-service program that includes rehab, injury evaluation, pre-practice preparation, concussion management, and game day care. The program we have today largely exists because of Krek's vision, persistence, and commitment to what was best for his student athletes. Beyond direct athlete care, Krek championed numerous initiatives that improved safety throughout our community. He advocated for CPR and AED training for all coaches in grades 7 through 12. He helped implement emergency care plans. He assisted in developing concussion testing and return-to-play protocol. He supported affordable mass sports physicals and was a strong advocate in ambulance coverage of football games. His work undoubtedly improved athlete safety and emergency preparedness throughout this region in sports. Throughout his distinguished career, Krek has received numerous of well-deserved honors. He has been inducted into the Worthington High School Hall of Fame, received a Lifetime Service Award from Region 8 in the NJCAA, the Joe T. Duggar Award, and was inducted into the Minnesota College Athletics Conference Hall of Fame. One of his most prestigious recognitions, though, came in 2018 when he was the award winner of the Fred Zamberletti Award. Named after the legendary first athletic trainer of the Minnesota Vikings and the pioneer in the profession, this award recognizes outstanding achievements and services in athletic training. It's fitting that Krek's name now stands alongside those who have shaped the profession. While awards and recognitions tell the part of the story, they don't fully capture the impact that Krek had. Throughout his career, he was present during some of the most critical moments an athlete and family can experience. He responded to 3 lacerated kidneys, a ruptured spleen, 2 life-flight head injuries, 2 heat strokes, and a subdural hematoma, along with many other serious medical emergencies. In those moments, Krek's expertise, calm demeanor, quick decision-making made an immeasurable difference on these athletes' lives. The truth is that it's impossible to list everything Krek's done over these years. His impact is far beyond the sidelines. He's mentored coaches, guided young athletic trainers, partnered with physicians and healthcare professionals, and cared for generation athletes throughout this community. Perhaps his greatest accomplishment and legacy he leaves behind is he helped transform the athletic training program in Worthington from a simple handshake to a comprehensive athletic training program staffed by 2 full-time athletic trainers who provide daily care and support to our student athletes throughout the community. Personally, I consider myself fortunate to have worked with Krek over the past 9 years. During this time, he's taught me a great deal, not about athletics and healthcare, but about dedication, professionalism, and service to others. His passion of helping athletes and his commitment to community have set an example for all of us. Krek, on behalf of Sanford Worthington, our schools, our athletes, and our entire community, thank you. Thank you for your decades of service, your leadership, your advocacy, and the countless lives you've touched along the way. We wish you nothing but happiness, health, and success in retirement, although knowing Krek, I suspect we'll see you on the sidelines of plenty of games in the years ahead. Please join me in congratulating and thanking Krek for an extraordinary career and a legacy that will continue to benefit our community for years to come. And now we're going to have a few other people speak. Up next is Josh Dale, the athletic director of the high school.
Good afternoon, good evening. Thank you all for being here. A special day to celebrate Krek's career as an athletic trainer. When I got asked to speak and kind of thought about Krek and the impact he's had on our community and just his career in general, some immediate qualities came to mind. The first one is dedication. Over 40 years of athletic training, I think that speaks for itself. He's at every event. He doesn't miss the event. If there's an event going on, he was there. He's invested time with mentoring young future athletic trainers, something that he took pride in here the last 4 or 5 years, and I think that was dear to his heart, of trying to kind of just move on and grow the legacy here in Worthington and making sure everyone was supported with the athletic training field. Passion. Brought enthusiasm, energy, and pride to the events. Sometimes his passion went a little too far with officials, but if you ever saw him on the sidelines or on the sideline, he'd be yelling or screaming, and there's been occasions where I had to go, "Hey, Krek, we probably need to calm down here a little bit." Well, that was the wrong call, but the passion's there, and he wanted to be there. Had a strong desire to see Trojan athletes and athletic teams succeed. Is passionate about his profession and always looks forward to learning more about his profession and to improving. Caring. Treats every athlete with compassion, understanding, and respect. Followed up with injured athletes, their families, and even opponent athletes. There's many times the day after an event on one of our fields or courts where an opposing athlete got hurt, and he was calling me the next day to have me check with the AD or the coach from the other school to see how that individual is doing. I'll always prioritize the health and well-being of our athletes over the competition. With that said, the health and well-being of our athletes came first, but he also understood the magnitude or the situation of the game or the event that took place and took that into consideration. So had the athlete in mind, but also the situation in mind too, and the year of the student. Dependability. Krek was someone you could count on to be there. Would take time away from his full-time job to come see athletes at the school, at their home, or even invite them to his house to be looked at. Respected professional. Earned respect from athletes, coaches, colleagues, and the community through hard work, integrity, and kindness. Kyle speaks on the numerous awards and recognitions he has received, reflect the impact he has made on the profession. One of the most important ones, I think, is he's always been supportive. Always supportive of our coaches that he worked alongside. When I started the profession, Krek was there from the beginning to provide advice for me, encouragement, and more importantly, there to listen. So Krek, I appreciate everything you've done for me personally. Thank you for that. Krek, your dedication, passion, caring nature, professionalism, and support has touched countless athletes, coaches, and community members. Your legacy will not be forgotten. Congratulations on your retirement. And as Kyle said, we know this probably isn't the end for you because we're going to see you at every event, and I hope to see you there and that we can all talk to you and as you enjoy the game, and maybe you'll take it a little easier on the officials. But let's give Krek one more round of applause for that. At this time, I'll turn it over to Maz to say a few words.
All right, so I just think it's so amazing to see how many people are here tonight to honor Krek and all that he's done for this community. And I know there's so many more people that would have wanted to be here. You know, summer's busy, but I know he's going to get many cards and a lot of people that were very excited that we could get the chance to honor Krek at this time. You know, we can sit up here and I've heard everybody talking about Krek's knowledge as a trainer, his willingness to help anybody at any time. And I know from Minnesota West perspective, we're one of the luckiest junior colleges in the nation. Not many at the Division III level can say they have a trainer like Krek, and even the two new that we've had here because of what he did for those things. It definitely was easy to recruit sometimes when parents would ask, like, you know, are you going to take care of my kid? And we could say, yeah, our trainer used to be in the NFL. You know, a lot of D3 people don't get that very often. But my biggest memories of Krek will always be the wisdom that he gave and the time he took to talk. And I know everybody in here could have the same story as I do about Krek. And we all know Krek can talk. And we all know Krek can tell good stories, right? But there's just so many times that his talks gave me personally just so much perspective and helped me through so many things. And I don't think there was ever a question that Krek cared for every player, every coach, and every program that he worked with. And Josh stole my thunder, but I was going to say, and I guarantee there's some officials that knew his passion for the team very well. But I also think with Krek how important, I think we all know how important his faith is to him. And I've treasured those talks that I've had with him surrounding that over the years. I think he's probably one of the most giving people most of us will ever meet in our lifetime. I believe that God has a plan for everyone, and he puts us in places where he knows that we can make a difference. And I look at Krek and I look at all of these things, from the National Football League, what Arnold Palmer, Bob Hope. I mean, think of the places and the things that Krek has done. And yet, how many people, when they do that, are willing to come back to their hometown, to a small little place like Worthington, Minnesota, and make it their life's work to work with a small high school and a D3 junior college. And I don't think anybody in here could ever say, yeah, Krek always told me how big time he was. If you talked to Krek, you had no idea how big time that guy really is in his life. And so I think that's a testament to how he treats everyone with respect. And when you leave talking to Krek, you feel so good about yourself and you really believe it. I mean, who does this? Who does this for people? You know, he knows what coaches put in. He knows the people, and he makes you feel so, I don't know, just have so much worth. And not many people have that quality to be able to do it. But he took the time to make all of these quilts for us and make everybody feel special. And I know he's done it in other ways for people here too. And even the hearts. We probably all know the hearts that Krek has carved for so many different people in so many ways. For me personally, on a basketball team, he gave us hearts so that we could each touch it and have our DNA on it, right? And so that we're a part of each other for the rest of our lives. And I know my team treasures that more than anything. And the heart that he gave me and the lucky shamrock that he gave me in the national championship, I just about have a blister, and I actually cracked the shamrock in half this year because it was in my pocket, rubbing so hard. I don't know if you can glue the shamrock back together, but that's a part of it. And so I know it could go on and on about Krek, and so many of you, like I said, have the same stories that I do. But I want to give a sincere thank you from Minnesota West for all that you've done for us over the years. You've impacted so many lives physically, mentally, to get them back on the playing field or the court, as your knowledge has got them back. But most importantly, I think more important than any of that is the way that you've impacted lives far beyond the days of the court. Far beyond that. And your legacy lives on in everyone who's here today, and all the trainers that are out there, all the coaches that are out there, all the teachers that are out there. And I truly believe that that is what God put you back here to do, correct? And I think that we can all say that you were put on this earth to change lives and impact lives. And I call you my friend, you have done it well. So thank you.
First of all, I can't believe this many people came back here to watch me retire. I've had a lot of people talk about, when are you going to retire? I thought you were already retired. This is my third public speaking I have done in the past month. I'm not probably getting any better at it, but I'm a lot less nervous. When my supervisor said Sanford wanted to do a retirement thing, I kind of balked a little. I knew selfishly I wanted to get the quilts I made for the head coaches I have worked with over the years, but wasn't too excited about having to speak. Most of you know I don't like to talk, so I'm sure you understand my reluctance. Anyway, thank you for all the kind words tonight. I am humbled and want to thank everyone who took time out of their evening to share this event. I did not want this to be an I Love Me event. I wanted this instead to be an I Love You one. The quilts you see were made mainly for the head coaches and ADs I worked with over the years, and some additional ones sprinkled in because I had certain fabric or a special want to make one. I made them because I respected all the coaches and ADs that I worked with over the years, and it was my way of showing that respect. If I had time and the financial backing, I would have made them for all the coaches I've worked with. As long as I'm talking about coaches and ADs, I also want to acknowledge their partners. They are the unsung heroes who have to listen to all the ups and downs of being coaches' partners. They are the ones who hold it all together at home. And while I'm acknowledging partners, I have to put a very special emphasis on my partner, Amy Ernst. She has been my most avid supporter and sidekick over the past almost 20 years. When I was solo in this assignment, Amy became my assistant and often had what I needed before I even asked for it. I have a magnet on my refrigerator with an Irish proverb that says, "When I count my blessings, I count you twice." When I think of Amy, I multiply that several times. I need to thank Sanford Health for all the support they give both Minnesota West and Worthington High School. When I first tied in with Sanford, I wondered if a big corporation would be a good fit for me. They far surpassed what I had hoped for. From top to bottom, they have come through whenever I've asked for help, and that goes for administration, for all the support they give us, and the providers, especially ortho, for fitting in athletes when asked. Next to the schools I worked with all those years, District 518 in Minnesota West. We would be here all night if I thanked all the people who helped with that job. It takes an army not only to support, but host an athletic event. I have to give special recognition to the ambulance crews and the police for their quick response and professionalism whenever called upon, and the emergency department for all the calls they handled. There were many special athletes over the years. I worked with 12 NFL Hall of Famers, numerous state and individual champions, 2 women's JUCO basketball players of the year, and I also worked with that first player off the bench that could have been a starter and could have been in an all-tournament team if they had started, and also the last player to get in and just wanted to be a part of a team. The players I was most fond of were the ones that cared more about their team than their own statistics. I think they know who they are. Of course, I didn't forget my family, including my 2 boys and now my 2 girls, my siblings and all their families. Combined, they never let me get too high and mighty. Most of you have no idea where my roots come from as far as athletic training mentors. I want to honor them here. My first mentor was Gordy Graham, who was one of the pioneers in athletic training here in the United States. When I was at Mankato State, they were considered the second best school in the nation behind Indiana. Gordy was legendary and an NAT Hall of Famer. My next mentor was Dean Kleinschmidt from the New Orleans Saints. Dean was the youngest head trainer ever in the NFL and is a 5-time Hall of Famer, including the National Athletic Trainers Association and NFL Hall of Fame. My first practice in the NFL, we had an athlete go down with a heat stroke and quit breathing 3 times on the way to the hospital. I learned how to stay calm during those life-threatening episodes from Dino. When I landed in Houston, Texas, I was blessed to have a great teacher and mentor in Jerry Mines. We just buried Jerry Saturday in Ironton, Iowa. Jerry was a part of an athletic crew at USC where he won 4 Division I national baseball tournaments and an additional national championship in football. After his NFL tenure, he spent the next 15 years in a career where he won 2 Crater Cups in the American Hockey League championships. If that wasn't enough, our 2 NFL team physicians with the Houston Oilers were not only great surgeons, but great teachers as well. When they finished examining an injury, they often would hand over an athlete and ask for our opinion. If our opinion was different from theirs, they never pointed it out in front of the athlete. They would give a hint and say, go check it again. The NFL Athletic Trainer of the Year award is named the Kane Fane Award after them. I guess I was pretty lucky in the mentor department. Finally, and most important, the 3 men I admire most are the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. I would have mentioned them first because that is where they are in my book. However, I was afraid people my age would be humming the song American Pie, and that might have thrown me off. If I forgot to include anyone, please excuse me. I could have shortened this by saying every one of you should be recognized. I kind of have 3 pillars of view of life as basic theme: faith, family, and community. And that's the order too. I have been asked several times why I'm so passionate about this community. I only had to look at the picture of He Heals party we had when Wayne Klumper was injured. It reminded me when Mike Patrick was injured and the numerous other tragedies that this community came together to help out in. Every one of you stands in part of that fabric of this community. That's why this community is so special to me. I tried to think back about all the successes and failures I experienced over the past 50 years. Of course, being one game short of the Super Bowl 2 years in a row was there, the trips to the different state tournaments, the national tournament runs with both Lady Jays volleyball and Lady Jays basketball, and especially the 2 national championship wins with the Lady Jays basketball. They will always be etched in my mind. I talked to Maz about this because I did not want her to think the national championships weren't important. But when I think back, I think mostly of watching all the athletes walk off the court, the ice and the mats, and the field for the last time in their career. To me, that's a special moment, and that burns deepest. Now, please be respectful and caring for Mitzi and whoever fills Logan's spot. They're just starting out and will need your support. I learned early on in my career that people don't care what you know until they know how much you care. And most important, absolutely most important message here is I always cared about the kids above all. I was always concerned first for their safety. Finally, a quote which I changed a little and I've always lived by. Fame is a vapor, popularity is an accident, money has wings, but faith and character live forever. God bless you.
So anyone that has a quilt, I think Craig would like to come down. He wants to take a picture down here on the floor with all the quilts. So one more time for Craig, though.